Hi there. Welcome to My Divine Compass. My name is Tara Fournier. I am so excited to be introducing you to TaraTech. So we share a common name. I love Tara. I met her. She came to my very first women's retreat that I hosted. And when she started talking and telling me about her background, I was completely blown away by this woman. So when I decided I was going to do this episode series of people you should know about, Tara was one of the first people who popped into my mind. And I sent her a message and said, hey, can I interview you? Because I really think she has some powerful information to share with all of you. And all of you have to know who she is. So let me introduce her. I'm going to start by letting you know that Tara is a retired nurse. She is a cancer coach. Have you ever heard of a cancer coach? I hadn't before I met Tara. So she's going to be sharing some information about what that actually means. She's a health coach. She is a Qigong instructor, and she is a laughter facilitator. I want to hear more about what that means. So welcome, Tara. Thank you so much for giving me this time and allowing me to share you with our audience. So tell us about you. Just go on. Just start talking, and then I'm going to ask you some questions.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for that delightful introduction. It was a pleasure meeting you. I think the universe just happens to place us all where we need to meet the right people that need to be in our lives, right?
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for that introduction. So about me, I was an ICU nurse for years and realized that the medical model wasn't really healing people, that it was more of a Band-Aid. And the treatments and the pharmaceuticals that I was doling out to my patients was only causing more side effects that we had to treat with more pharmaceuticals or more treatments. And so I slowly, it was an evolution in my life, but slowly became involved in holistic medicine. And there over some years, some occurrences happened in my life that created this avenue for me to become a holistic cancer coach and then utilize other things in my life. So like I became that laughter facilitator and a Qigong instructor. So over the years, I went from mainstream medicine to alternative and holistic medicine.
So what was your turning point in all of that?
So my major turning point in going from allopathic to natural medicine was during one entire year. I had 9 friends and family members either diagnosed with cancer or they passed away from cancer. And my husband was one who was diagnosed, as well as my 24-year-old nephew and one of my best friends.
Wow.
So, yeah, that whole year was a really bad year, but I thought I have to do something. I love to help people. Medicine isn't helping them. Chemo has a very low success rate, somewhere like 2 to 5% success rate. So I quit my job, went to school to become a holistic health coach and learn how to help people heal themselves using natural methods. And then along with that, I learned different ways that you can detox your body, bring laughter and happiness back into your life, and then really find yourself, because we go through life in this rat race and we try to live up to everyone's expectations but our own, and we forget who we are. We're not genuine anymore. We're just a cog in the wheel. And so we need to learn to get back to center, get back to that real person inside, find that child inside of us, and live up to that expectations that we had when we were little. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Yes. So I'm remembering back to when I first met you, and you were telling us that you were a cancer coach. And what was that whole process that you went through to specifically to get that title? How did that what is that specifically?
A cancer coach it's a health coach, but they specialize in working with people who have had a serious illness, a serious diagnosis. So it's not only cancer, it could be heart disease or diabetes, But the whole process of going to school, it was medical training. My instructors were naturopaths, famous physicians over in Germany. Dr. Rao, who has very successful treatments with his patients. He's retired now, but people from all over the world go to Germany and other facilities around the world where people who've been trained in the way I've been trained do things to themselves to help detox their body, give their body the nutrition they need, find their true center. You know what I'm saying? So it was an intense medical training, and it was all focused on natural healing. So I have people that come to me who have been doing chemo or radiation, and they still want to do that, and I do focus on the natural methods, but a lot of the natural things that we can do to ourselves actually help the chemo and the radiation work better. So it's really a mixture of both worlds for people who really want to get the best of what they can from each avenue. But for the people who really want to focus on natural medicine, you know, that's where my heart lies, is in helping the body heal naturally.
Mm-hmm. And so on that note, what have you found that, well, I don't even know if you can answer this, but what have you found to be some links to causing cancer? Have you found any types of things like that you can share with us?
Sure. Well, to answer that question, medically, there are different theories on cancer, but what it really gets down to is body out of balance. So in Chinese medicine, Qigong is one of the 4 pillars of Chinese medicine. And in Chinese medicine, we believe that all illness and disease is caused by blockage of energy. Something's out of harmony, out of balance in the body. And so we really dive into the history, the lifestyle factors, diet, sleep, emotions, and find out what's out of balance. What can we bring back into balance to create homeostasis for that body so that we can allow the immune system to thoroughly and effectively, you know, get rid of our cancer and heal our diseases that we have.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I don't know if I answered that question right.
Yeah, no, that was good. So when someone calls you up, I mean, how have you had clients find you? Do they just come across you in searching for different, you know, alternative approaches, or how have people been able to find you to help assist them through their cancer process, basically?
So this is going to sound a little woo-woo, but when you put it out into the universe, I need help. I need to find someone that can help me. Somehow I'm connected with whoever needs help. This just happened 2 days ago. So someone who really wanted to heal naturally threw it out in the universe, or just set the intention, and was, you know, trying to find someone to help. And it was a freak accident, which I don't believe in accidents or, you know, anything like that. I believe everything happens for a reason. So I met this person, and we just happened to talk about healing. And then she told me, you know, she had been diagnosed. And so then we started talking. But so there is the woo-woo factor, which I totally believe in. But then there's also people who find me on the internet. They can do a search for cancer coach, or a lot of the natural treatment centers somehow link to me. I'm not sure how Google works. I'm not, even though my name is Tech, I'm not technically smart. So I get people from all over that email me or call me, and I do have referrals from physicians here in the area, but most of my clients are from around the world. Wow. So now I do no longer, sorry, the words aren't coming. Mm-hmm. I no longer personally coach people, but I do give classes where I teach people, you know, how to change their lifestyle. Like, look at their diet, look at the toxins coming into them, and then what we can do naturally to detox our bodies, and then how to detox your house, because a lot of the toxins that we acquire are coming from, you know, our hand soap and laundry detergent and the plastics that we use to, you know, contain our food. Yeah. So, yeah, did I answer your question?
Yes.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, no. that was exactly, with all of the information that I've researched, I mean, I'm no cancer coach by any means, but I definitely see how our environment is contributing to cancer, how our food is contributing to cancer, how what you were talking about with energy and energy blockage and how that can contribute to illness in the body when things are not in balance. This all makes perfect sense to me. I'm hearing you and I'm feeling you. And so, okay, so let's move into Qigong a little bit more. And what was your deciding factor into becoming an instructor for Qigong? Tell us about that.
This is my passion, so I might not shut up. So when I went to school years ago to learn to be a cancer coach and how to treat cancer naturally, one of the things that always kept coming back to me was Qigong. And in China, literally millions of people have done and do Qigong to help get rid of any illness they have, especially cancer. And there's actually certain Qigong routines or Qigong walking that we can do to help get rid of the cancer that we have. So what I kept finding as a cancer coach is that people would want me to work with them. And so we would, come up with a protocol, change your diet, change your lifestyle, change your sleeping habits. There's so much to do that people would be overwhelmed. And I thought, okay, we need to tone it down. We need to find something that we can do, that calms us down, gets us in that state of healing, rest and digest, get the parasympathetic nervous system going instead of that fight or flight syndrome. So Qigong kept coming back to me. And so I started doing different Qigongs, studying with different masters, doing some Qigong here in Prescott. And then I really found the type of Qigong that I wanted to help people with. So what I focus on is more of a medical Qigong instead of like martial arts or spiritual. And so I always do massage, self-applied massage, and then some healing visualization. We work with some energy and maybe some Qi ball. But what I love about Qigong is that anyone can do it, any age, any health condition. You can do it laying down in bed. If you're bedridden, you can still do Qigong. You can do it sitting down. You can do it standing up. You can do it any way you can think of. It's so simple, but yet so effective. And so when people come to my Qigong class, we're doing simple moves. They're very slow and gentle. And on the outside, it looks like we're not doing much. But on the inside, at the cellular level, we're doing so much. Energetically, we're moving blockages, we're purging that stagnant Qi, we are tonifying, we're condensing our Qi. It's so effective and feels so good, but it's deceptively simple. So I have people that will come to a class and they're newbies, and we go through the very gentle, slow motion, and then they'll start feeling the effects of, getting their Qi moving. And some people don't realize, if they don't see it or feel it, they don't believe in it. But then you think about Wi-Fi. We don't really see or, you can't feel it, right? But it works. So
that is an awesome comparison. Exactly.
So people will come and, I'll tell them, I know this looks like we're not doing much, but we're doing so much. And then usually that first night after that they've done Qigong, they sleep better than they've slept in years. Or they might have an emotional release because we store emotions in our organs. And when we're doing energy work, we're getting those stored emotions out of our organs. So they might giggle. I have people just start laughing, and that's perfectly wonderful. I love it when I can see a release. Some people cry, so I always try to keep, Kleenexes with me. That's very rare, but it's normal and that's good and it's healthy. So I forgot your question, but
no, that was good. It was about what was your deciding factor in becoming a Qigong instructor. But okay. on what you're saying, for those who've literally never heard the word Qigong, have no idea what that is and what that looks like, and they're listening to us right now, and they're trying to relate that to what? So can you explain, I've done one Qigong class, and just in talking with you now, I'm like, okay, I got to come and take your classes because I know that I need it. But I remember it was like, you know, creating some sort of energy and then moving the energy. And so how do you explain that to someone who has no idea what Qigong is, and they're trying to understand, how will this help me? What do you mean I'm releasing energy? What are you talking about, the cellular level? What does this mean? How do you answer that for them?
Okay, so Qigong is an ancient Chinese exercise and healing technique that consists of alignment of the body. So when we first start Qigong, we get in alignment so that our spine is straight, and we allow all of our joints to hang loose and open, so nothing's blocked, and we're allowing that energy to run freely. And then we focus on our breath. So we have alignment, we have breath, and meditation or mind focus, and then self-applied massage to help open up our meridian channels and get things moving. And we do tapping and movements to allow all this to happen. So energy. So people, maybe they don't understand what that is. If you think back to, you know, high school science class, you think of the cell. And in the middle of the cell is the nucleus, and we have, you know, the proton and the neutron. The proton's positive, the neutron's neutral. And then we have an electron circling around the outside that's negative. And so there's an electrical charge in every cell in our body. And so our entire body is made up of these electrical cells. We have magnetic electricity running through our body. And so everything in nature, this chair I'm sitting on, everything is made up of some type of energy. And so what we're doing is we're bringing it back to balance. So if you think of like a garden hose, and there's water running through it, nice and even, the plants are getting water down the line, but then something happens and that hose gets kinked, right? So then all of a sudden these plants down the line aren't getting the water. But then at the other end of the hose, we got a major blockage. Maybe that hose starts ballooning out, you know, something's going on. And so that water that's going through the hose, think of that as your electricity in your body, your chi, your life force energy. And so when we have blockages or a kinked hose, at one end we have pain and inflammation, maybe at the beginning of a cancer cell or tumor that, you know, starts to grow. And then at the other end, we have those organs and our tissues that aren't getting what they need. So there's pain and inflammation there. And so when we unkink that hose and let that chi run through the lines where it's supposed to go, all of a sudden the inflammation starts going down. Balance comes back to the body. The mind feels good. And then I forgot the rest of your question.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Okay. So that's how I explain chi and energy to people. And then when they first come to class, you know, we focus on the breath. Breath is so important because most of us are shallow chest breathers. And yeah, me too. And when we get anxious, what do? We hunch up our shoulders, our breath gets even more shallow. And when we get angry, we're like, oh, we're like really letting that breath out, but we're not taking any in.
Yes.
So our emotions really run and rule our breathing. And we need to bring it back to balance. So every Qigong class, I really overemphasize the importance of our breath. So when we take a deep belly breath, which is called Dantian breathing, and our lower abdomen comes out when we inhale, we are receiving more oxygen than when we're doing, you know, shallow chest breathing, up to 60% more. So one of the things with cancer cells, they hate oxygen. So what do you do to help get rid of cancer? You want more oxygen in your body. And in fact, one of the natural treatments is hyperbaric oxygen treatment. But if you go to a Qigong class and you're doing your deep breathing for a whole hour, guess what? For a whole hour, you just got up to 60% more oxygen throughout those 60 minutes than you would normally. So it's, you know, it's similar to a HBOT treatment. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things that we can do in Qigong that you would go elsewhere to have something done to you. And oh, that's one thing I wanted to say, why I got into Qigong. So natural medicine, alternative medicine is still similar to that mainstream medical model. Even if you're going to a naturopath or an integrative oncologist, they're still going to give you a treatment. They'll give you an IV. They'll give you an H-spot treatment. They'll do something to you, a PEMF, which is great. I'm not saying it's not. But I know how expensive healthcare is, because we went $97,000 in debt because our insurance didn't cover any of my husband's treatment.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I wanted to find was something you could do on your own that was cost effective and that was also very effective for your health. And so Qigong, we lower our cortisol levels, we increase the quality and duration of our sleep. We go back to that rest and digest mode. We get more oxygen. So we're letting all those hormones flow and balance out and bring our body back to balance. Okay, so I'll just stop.
Yeah.
I can talk about this forever. There's so much. It's so simple, but there's so much that Qigong can do for you. And when you do Qigong in a group, let's say I have 5 people in a class, the vibration of the group, the level of the vibration raises. And the higher your vibration is, the healthier you are. So you could do Qigong at home, you know, but when you're together with people doing it, you feel even better, and the healing effects are magnified.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some people that will come to a Qigong class and they're, you know, fighting cancer and healing naturally. And when they come together and say, oh, you know what, my markers were great this year or this month, or you know what, my tumors decreased in size, and we, you know, share this with each other, it raises everyone's healing aspect. So I just think it's just a beautiful thing that everyone should try.
And on that note, it's not just cancer as a disease that this is healing. It's all chronic disease, right? Because all chronic disease has to do with blockage.
Yes.
Energy blockage.
Yep. In Chinese medicine, every disease, every pain is considered a blockage of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So if someone is suffering from Parkinson's or digestive issues,
Mm-hmm.
or you know, the different kinds of issues, this all is all kind of the same protocol, basically, right?
In fact, I had severe adrenal issues just because of all the stuff that was going on in my life, and as a mom and a caretaker, and you know, my adrenals were shot. I couldn't do activity like I used to run all the time, and I would lift weights, and my doctor said, Tara, you're burnt out, you can't do this. So Qigong was something I could do that was gentle and nourishing to my body, and it also helped heal me. And then I also have people who they're brittle diabetics, and they'll come to Qigong class and their blood sugar is lower, so they have to be really careful when they first come to check their sugar afterwards, because their blood sugar will, you know, it stabilizes. And it doesn't forever unless they keep coming back. But, you know, it's amazing, like people with heart conditions and high blood pressure, Qigong lowers high blood pressure and also reduces the risks of fall. So for older people who have balance issues, the more they do Qigong, the less risk of fall that they have. And they, their coordination, their balance becomes better. And I also use brain integration techniques in my Qigong class. So I'm always, you know, doing cross body exercises for people, which seem very simple, but is often a brain challenge.
Sure. Yep.
So we always throw in laughter too, because laughter is a healing medicine. And so I'm a laughter facilitator, and so I always try to bring in that aspect because laughter is good for the soul.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, Tara, I know that you and I could spend a whole nother 30 minutes or another hour having this discussion, but what I want is for people to reach out to you and be able to continue this conversation with you, connect with you, find out what they can do to heal themselves. So let me just let all of you know out in the audience that Tara, she is very, her mission is to help get, you know, your healing into your hands and not your doctor's anymore. This is about you being your own advocate for your health. And she's providing a lot of tools to help you reclaim control of your own health. So Tara lives here in Prescott, Arizona, and I'm going to give you some information on how you can connect with her. She is teaching Qigong at 2 different locations. One is Body Connection Yoga and More. She's there Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 10 to 11 a.m., Thursdays 4:30 to 5:30, and Sundays 4 to 5 p.m. And then she's also over at the Adult Center of Prescott Wednesday mornings from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. So connect with her. I know I'm going to go take a class with her now, and I already know a few people I'm going to be bringing along with me, because I'm going to be like, okay, I need this, you need this, we all need this, so let's do this together. You can email Tara at qigongforhealthaz@gmail.com, and Qigong is Qigong. So Qigong for healthaz@gmail.com. Her phone number is 928-923-4840, and you can find her on Facebook at Qigong for Health AZ also. And underneath this video will be all of that information I just told you. So connect with Tara. Like I said in the beginning of this interview, she is someone to know, especially when we look around at all of the people that either you yourself are dealing with chronic illness, or I guarantee you know someone who has cancer, and definitely diabetes, high blood pressure, heart issues, all of that stuff. So even if you don't live here in Prescott, at least contact Tara and see what she can do to help you, and find a local Qigong instructor in your area too. So thank you so much, Tara, for giving us your time and sharing all this amazing information with us. I'm really, really excited to have had this time with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed the whole conversation.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you being on here, and we'll see you next time. Take care.